Greeting everyone. Good to see you again in this new episode. The preliminary step of candidates' perception towards the English language teaching rule is regarded as a general perspective. But when it comes to real classroom setting, the circumstance is not alike. And this is by virtue of having what is called learning or teaching pedagogy, which consists of various sources or multi learning environments. The common known in these aspects is what is called cooperative learning environments. In cooperative learning environments, we are going to aim our lesson towards having the language acquisition. So language acquisition is the first step that I am going to talk about. So we have language acquisition or lesson acquisition, the same thing. So in language acquisition, this is not in general, I'm not talking about a general term. Here we refer it, to the classroom setting. In a classroom setting, you are talking about what? You are talking about the content of your course, right? But the significance of language acquisition is to affiliate this aspect with another aspect which is called motivational aspects. So what we need what is called motivational aspect. Right. In the motivational aspect, classified into two types. We have extrinsic and intrinsic. Extrinsic motivation and intrinsic motivation. Simply, in order to acquire a language, or to enable your students acquire or learn the expected objective or the expected knowledge that is related to your lesson content, is to set your motivational aspect. You need to make your students motivated with what you are presenting, because this is a psychological factor that's divided into two parts, as I said. So extrinsic is an outside, intrinsic by the learners themselves. They will be motivated by themselves. Extrinsic, it is the responsibility of the teacher. So I will explain in details about each one of them. So we will talk about extrinsic, as I said, is the teacher, since we are dealing with a school, it is the teacher responsibility. Teacher responsibility. Okay, this one can be applied simultaneously. So extrinsic and intrinsic, if we succeed to fulfill this one, the second part will come implicitly, right? So here, when we do this one will come later, because learners, when you make them motivated by providing whatever you prefer to do, or whatever you think this material is suitable to the learners, so by this way you will create an additional benefit, which is intrinsic motivation. Learners will learn because they love the language, they would like to learn the language, or they love the teacher's methodology. This is another aspect. So I will talk about extrinsic and how you can develop or prompt your learners forward toward acquiring or building the stepstone of your lesson. So they will have what a motivational, how we can say it, aspect, as I said. So I will discuss this and explain one by one. So I will erase these. All right. So I'm going to deal with extrinsic motivation. An extrinsic motivation means an outside factors. All right. Outside factors, which is the teacher himself or herself. So here we're addressing a teacher. Since we are dealing with a classroom, we talk about teacher. All right. So how can you do this? The first thing you need to do is to relate your content with the learner's profile. The first thing is to relate. So we will talk about number one, activeness. In activeness here, you will provide your learners with something that they are familiar with. So here we relate what? Relate the real life setting. Sorry, relate the contents. Of your course, okay, of your lesson to the learners real life setting. All right. So we must relate the content. Give them example that they are familiar with. If you are teaching in any part of geographical area, you need to provide something that relates to their own city. You need to be aware of their cultural characteristics, their traditions, customs, etc. If you are teaching abroad, right? So here we are discussing about the learner's contents or the learner's profile. This is the first or the preliminary step of activeness. So if you provide them with these, you will need to move to the next procedure. In the next procedure, you are going to do what? You have to do. So we relate the real life setting with the contents, right? So we have a relationship between the contents and the real life setting of the learners, of course. All right. In the second step, what you're going to do is to provide them with games, okay? Or games, or make a situation, invent a situation. Do not copy and paste. Create a situation by yourself, all right? You need to be intellectual teacher. You have to set a situation based on their own environments, right? So you need to set a situation. Such situation, okay? It should be real, okay? Fact, and comprehensible or familiar. Right? Real, facts, and comprehensible. You need these three elements in order to set the situation. The situation can be done only, the suitable way to do it or to apply it is by integrating the what is called the role play, right? So we need to set what a role play. Okay? In a role play, you can invent something related to the topic, okay? If you can also do it in a grammar, you can do it for everything, okay? So this is about the role play when you set a situation to your learners, right? By this, learners will be familiar and engage without noticing that. So this is unconscious process, right? They will do it indirectly. They will try to integrate rather than being passive. They will try to be active learners because this topic or this situation is suitable to them, right? So you need to provide something that relates or cope with the learner's mindsets, right? So this is the second situation, right? When we move here, we move to the next one. In the next step, we are going to do what is to have a classroom management. We have bus group of 3 students, okay? No more than 3 students. We have pair work, right? We have what is common known by all of us as teachers, which is group work as a collaborative work environment or as a collaborative, how we can say it's working exercises such as communicative tasks. We need collaborative work management. So we need a classroom suitable suitable classroom management. All right. Before you arrange your students into groups, let them choose their own partners. Do not tell them you need to sit next to this one or you should live next to this one. No, let them choose their own colleagues. Because if you cut this kind of activity or if you do not give them the freedom to choose whatever they like, here they will not be engaged with other colleagues. So they only how we can say it, cope with their preferable colleagues. So just let them choose whatever they like, okay, whoever they like, right? And in order to achieve your learning objective, this is the reason. So collaborative working environment, it divided into 3 parts: bus group, pair work, group work, according to the situation. So if you have a communicative language methodology, you need to do group work, sorry. If you want to have a listening, if you want to have a dialogue, okay, if you want to set anything that needs no more than 3 students, you can do it as a pair work. One student will correct the other, or they will talk to each other on the stage about any particular topic. Bus group particularly is related to problem-based approach. this is the suitable tool, or the suitable way in order to arrange your student based on the methodology that you are doing or that you are intended to integrate. Right. So this is about suitable classroom management. You will let them choose whatever they like, okay? And after that, you will say, oh, maybe they prefer this guy, okay, or this student, because in order to make joke, etc. No, you need to control the situation in this way. You have to manage your students, okay? Let them manage it by themselves, sorry. And at the same time, you need to control. You have to, how we can say it, be the how we can say it, the full attention. Okay, you need to be well recognized by your student. They need to be aware of your presence. They need to be aware of your instructions. Right. This is the first thing. When you provide the classroom management, what we need to provide instruction. So here is to provide instructions. What is called is clarity. In the clarity, what you need for extensive learning or extensive motivation, extrinsic motivation, we need clarity in order to provide an easy instruction for learners. So here, for example, when you provide instruction of the task, you need to state it the first time. If students did not understand what you are trying to say, here you need to restate again, but in a different form, right? You need to make it easier and to consider the levels of your students, because you are not dealing with a particular or similar level. So you need to to vary your concepts based on the learners, of course. So here we need to clarity, restate, state, restate, etc. Your instructions. So when you accomplish all of these, learners will have extrinsic motivation. Because of you, because what you have given to them, they will perform effectively. By this, they will have or acquire extrinsic motivation. This is the first part. When we relate extrinsic motivation to intrinsic motivation, learners will be competitive with their colleagues, if I can say that. They will try to get higher score, because this can happen when you provide praise, okay? When you provide gratitude, when you show gratitude to your learners, they will try to do more, okay? So support them, make them motivated. So by this, they will, I need to, the other colleague, they will see how you react with the smart students. So they will be jealous, if I can say that. They will be competitive. I need to do like he did, as him. I need to perform the task better than him. So this is the reason. This is intrinsic. This is the benefits or the relationship between extrinsic and intrinsic motivation. So intrinsic motivation is easy. It comes simultaneously just when we accomplish the first part, which is extrinsic motivation. If we accomplish all of these, like I said here, all of these steps, you can build the intrinsic motivation easily without any direct interference. Thank you very much again for your kind listening, and see you for the upcoming videos where I will discuss a different aspect or different topics regarding teaching methodology, regarding grammar, or any other